Hello, this is Michael Michailidis from Ancient Greece Revisited, and I want to answer a question that has been posed to me in private. What do I think of Netflix Kaos? Right, if you have been living under a rock, Netflix produced a series with, I wouldn't say on ancient Greece, but playing on the theme of ancient Greek mythology called Kaos, written with a K, strangely enough, which even to my eyes made the title look a little bit more ancient Greek, although the letter in ancient and modern Greek for chaos is not K, it's an X, but for whatever reason it worked. Now, the series has been criticized for many things, and in fact, as of very recently, it has been cancelled for its second season. But I saw the first season, and because we're producing this show, people have asked me, what do I think of it? And the reason I've wanted to make this video is that it came to in a timely manner where we have been producing episodes that have to do with eroticism and homosexuality in ancient Greece, and we've been criticized. In fact, we've been criticized for becoming a gay channel, which we're clearly not. But to what it concerns is a fair question, and I would like to address these two concerns converging into one. So, what do I think of Netflix Kaos, first of all, having seen the whole thing practically back to back? Now, if we were not living in the year 2024, and if the so-called woke agenda has not been made so apparent to us as to many other people, and if the woke agenda was not as abhorrent to us as to many of you watching, I would have little problems with Netflix Kaos, believe it or not. The whole idea of presenting gods as spiteful, mostly middle-aged humans is not necessarily bad. In fact, a work of art should be judged to the degree that it's consistent within its own rules. I remember a long time ago watching Romeo and Juliet by Baz Luhrmann, for instance, and again, a film that had received much criticism because it was seen as plagiarizing, abusing the works of William Shakespeare. I loved it. And what I used to say is what I want to say about Netflix Kaos. It's consistent within its own rules. That is what it set out to do, to present gods as mortals with a midlife crisis, essentially, most of them. And it does that very well. It's very well acted. The casting and many of its scenes are clearly there for political purposes. I'm certain of it. The whole multi-racial depiction of ancient Greek gods, I'm sure, fits with Netflix's multi-racial, multicultural agenda, which it clearly has one, let's be honest. But that is because I and many of you concerned have become aware of this, right? That does not necessarily say everything about the work of art. If we were to transport this back 20 years ago, I would have absolutely no problem with imagining Dionysus, of all gods, in a homosexual scene, a gay sex scene, essentially. Not as explicit as a pornographic film, but pretty explicit as to what is happening. I would have no problem. So what? Dionysus is a polyamorous god. He's an orgiastic, ecstatic god. He's the god that breaks down boundaries of race, boundaries of age, boundaries. He's the god that can make one love lust for a woman that's totally inappropriate, socially, age-wise, race-wise, whatever-wise. Dionysus is Lysios, the dissolver of boundaries. So yeah, why not? Have no problem imagining him as being sexual with men, sexual with women, sexual with animals. I would have no problem with that. Why not? He is the god of that. It's just that in the context of 2024, it's very obvious what we're being led towards. And that is my only objection, that it's playing upon a very powerful agenda that I'm sure allowed the creators of this series, an audience with Netflix, and ultimately a deal, a very profitable deal, I'm certain. But apart from that, I'd say it's fine. Obviously not fine enough to have wanted a second season, but for what I saw, it was consistent within its own rules. It presented a very disenchanted view of mythology. It presented a few gems that, if you are well read in ancient Greek mythology, you'll recognize. It's almost like a wink to those who have read a few of these works. I don't want to spoil too many, but there's a scene where Dionysus is looking at the house of his mother, who was burned by Hera in the film, by Zeus in Greek mythology. And it's not really put in context, but whoever has read the Bacchae by Euripides will recognize this as the introductory scene, which might suggest that they were looking into a second season where perhaps Dionysus would play a major role. There's all these little gifts to those who were well read in mythology. The problem that I find with all this is not the gay scenes, is not the multi-ethnic, the multiracial. I would have no problem with that. I would even enjoy all that if I knew they were not serving a political purpose, if they were generally a form of artistic expression. I would rejoice in all of that. What I would never rejoice is this disenchantment of the enchanted. It is very consistent within the rules of that film. They wanted to show a disenchanted mythology, a mythology where gods are middle-aged superheroes. They have some powers, for sure. They look immortal. They're immortal to some degree, but they don't look as good. They're not resplendent as the ancient Greeks imagined them. They're not glorious, as they're not pure. They're spiteful, much more than one might think from Greek mythology, right? And it's this thing that is my only true objection. I don't believe we need more disenchantment. We are disenchanted enough living in this postmodern world, right, of secular beliefs and materialist philosophy. We're disenchanted enough. What we need is a re-enchantment of the world. What we need is a genuine portrayal of Greek mythology in a way that it is not going to be a museum piece for tourists. It's not going to be kitsch, which is so easy to do when one touches the subject of ancient Greece. It's going to be authentic. It's going to be new, but old, which is exactly what we're trying to do in this series. So if you enjoy our work, please consider subscribing and supporting us on Patreon. There's many more videos coming for this season. Thank you very much.